Hi, this is the Old Guy Worldview, and today's topic is this the end of the American dream? Now, I pose that as a question, as a topic, but of course, since this is the Old Guy Worldview, I have a position on that, and I hate to say it, but I believe that it is. Now, America was built on the American dream, and the American dream, in a modern sense, was based on three things: marriage, home ownership, and the belief that your children, the next generation, would do better than you. Now, I'm not going to make the argument that all segments of society were equally able to participate in that, but that still was the American dream. In the immediate post-war era, it was believed that a man, even a blue-collar job, would earn enough income to buy a home and support a family, and had the belief that his children would go on to have a better economic situation than they did. And that changed somewhat over time. I know in my generation, I come from a very blue collar background. My mother and father both had to work to support the family. My father owned a drive-through. My mother was a bank teller. But we still had the American dream, and I myself have been lucky in that regard. Um, when I got out of high school, I wasn't going to go to college. The money wasn't there, and also I had a desire to serve my country. So I enlisted in the Army. I spent 4 years of active duty. I worked for 4 years after that. When I was 27, that's when I decided to go to college. I went to college. I have had a good life. I have a beautiful wife that I love. I have a nice home. All those things, but that's just not as easy to come by as it was before. People are getting married later. Home ownership is gone insane with the price of homes plus the interest rates, and this is the first generation where it doesn't look like they're going to do as well as their predecessors. And why is that? Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. I think there's faith, identity in a changing world. Now, when I say faith, I'm not some evangelical person who says, "Oh, the lack of faith in God is what did it." No, it's lack of faith in two things: capitalism and our government. First of all, lack of faith in capitalism. When people can't get the things that they see other people haven't gotten in prior generations under a capitalist system, they lose faith in capitalism. And the socialists are there to take advantage of that. Uh, there's socialists certainly in our education system. They're selling the socialist dream to a whole new generation of people. Socialism means if you can't get it on your own, blame the system, vote for us, and we'll give you all that stuff for free. But I believe in what Margaret Thatcher said. Problem with socialism is that eventually you run out of other people's money. But is it catching on? Yes, it is. New York City was the bastion of capitalism. And now we have a socialist mayor. So we've lost faith in our own capitalism. And there's reasons for that. And part of it is our government. Our government has got us $38 trillion in debt. That what these other generations, the oncoming generations who aren't doing as well as we are supposed to somehow pay off. And how do we get into that problem to begin with? It was our government. They're so much more concerned with getting reelected that they will spend our money at any rate to go into their districts just to help them get reelected. And that also has driven the divisiveness. We're losing faith in America. That's what makes the left and the right are so opposed to each other diametrically that they can't even find the center ground, which is being an American and doing what's best for America. America's also lost a sense of identity as Americans. America was always said to be the melting pot. My ancestors came from Germany, they came from Ireland. We're Americans, but now everyone's in their bucket. We're not a melting pot, we're a salad. Everything's in the bowl, but it's all very separate. We have Latin Americans, African Americans, Somali Americans, Muslim Americans, trans Americans, evangelical Americans, whatever, but everyone's in their little basket and they don't think about the benefit of the group of the whole. And it's a changing world. America is not what it was in the immediate post-Cold War era, never financially nor economically. And that's just the nature of the world. There are other groups that it's a multipolar world. Take from the EU, India, China, BRICS, whatever. It's a multipolar world now. We are not the world's leader. So empires and nations rise and fall. That's the nature of history. From the ancient Egyptians, the Persians, the Romans, most of the European countries had a shot. Spain, France, Britain. We had ours. Now, do I have hope for the future? I do. But on the other hand, hope is never a particularly good strategy. Anyway, those are my thoughts. That's the whole guy worldview. Thanks.